What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit up all those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is Monday morning, October 19th, 2020. It is around 6:30 in the morning. Before we get started, let's get the incense going. Let's get this lit up. Got a good episode to get into, I would say. Hold on one second. Oh, I took off the whole cherry, damn it. Maybe not. Alright, let's get into it. Put that in its place. Alright, what do we have going on today? Give you a little Sober October weekend update. Talk a little sports, a little UFC, a little Dodgers, Tampa Bay Rays. Get into this Joe Biden story. And yeah, just kind of give you a little weekend update. So it should be a good one. Let's get into it right away. How am I doing? I am doing okay. So as far as Sober October is going, it's no issues as far as not wanting to smoke or anything like that. That's all good. I am kind of counting down the days. I'm excited to get it going again, but it's not an issue. I still have some bud ground up literally right behind the camera there. Doesn't bother me at all. I can have friends come over, whatever. My dad's still smoking. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't tempt me at all. So that's a good thing. But I am, looking forward to getting back to it. There are some things that I've noticed that I really enjoy with it. And, running is a big part of it for me, honestly. Like, people would think maybe if you smoke, you wouldn't be able to run as long, but for me, it's the opposite, man. It's like, when I smoke, I can run for a long time. Like, I've smoked, took a fat dab, couple bong hits, whatever. It didn't really matter. As long as I kind of got high, I'd run for 6 to 9 miles, and no issues. And now, during the Sober October, I'm struggling getting through 3 miles. I know I've been running more consistently over this time, but even at the early stages, it was a struggle to get through even like 3 miles, man. And it's been a challenge. And then I kind of had my mental health really low depression days about a week and a half ago or so, where I kind of stopped working out for a handful of days. And I haven't really been able to get fully back on track as far as the full body workouts, but I have been running at least 3 miles every single day. So I'm trying to catch up on the mileage there. And if I continue out the 3 miles every day, I'll surpass the 62-mile goal that I had by probably like 7-8 miles or something like that. So I would be able to take another day or so off, but I can't get too comfortable with that. And yeah, I just really have to kind of just focus on it, stick down to it. Takes about 30 minutes, 28 minutes to get those 3 miles in. And, I can spare 30 minutes a day. That's no problem. And I have been doing some of the workouts. Like, I've been handling some push-ups. Maybe if I can do 30 a day from here on out, that'll be good. It should be able to catch me back up. And if I knock out maybe like 60 to 80, maybe about like 60 crunches or ab workout a day, I should be able to catch up a little bit. And the squats I kind of neglected for the last couple of days, so I'd probably have to do quite a bit of squats to get back in order. So that, that's one thing I I'm lacking on is my discipline as far as the workout goes. I am back getting disciplined with the runs, and my legs are very sore. I'm definitely feeling it, but yeah, that's one of the things that I'm a little bummed at myself about. You know, I wasn't able to kind of stick to the plan that I had in place, but you know, things happen, and that's kind of what it is. But I will say, man, without the cannabis, without smoking or whatever, my dreams are just intense again. They are back in full swing, and last night's was just crazy, man. It was dealing with some family from Vegas. It was dealing with some like music festival type stuff, and like a couple of my favorite artists, Mod Sun, MGK. Like, it was just a trip, man. And then like I would wake up, like I woke up a couple of times throughout the dream, like throughout the night, and when I fell back asleep, it went right back into the same dream. And yeah, that was just a trip, man. It was just such a trip. But good stuff. I'm the day before, man, also it was really strange because like I thought I woke up like honestly, I thought I woke up, rolled over, checked my phone. I thought it said 8:30 in the morning. And then I legitimately wake up, roll over, and it was not even 8 o'clock yet. So it was weird, man. It was really weird. It felt like the 8:30 was real, man, and it wasn't. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, is trying to distinguish what's a dream and what's not. It's been a little intense, but that's what you get when you cut out the cannabis, man. It's those dreams start coming back in full force. Pretty crazy stuff. What else is going on? Our cabinets, so they didn't get complete over the weekend, which was a little bummer, and we don't have they didn't put the sink in, so that kind of sucks. We don't have a kitchen sink right now. They should be here this morning right after I get done with this, and hopefully they get that all finished up and completed, and we'll have basically almost like a brand new kitchen, so that'll be cool. It looks really good though, the color and everything. It makes it look really nice. I'm really excited about it. Who would have thought, you know, getting excited over a new kitchen or new cabinets and stuff, but it does make it look good. It does make it look nice, and I'm excited about it. So we're gonna have a ton more space, and things can be organized now, and yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to getting it all complete and set up. So that is exciting. What else is going on? Saturday, my brother came by. We went and had some lunch. Let me tell you a little bit of story about that real quick. So there's this spot, Mendocino Farms. They have a few handful of vegan options or whatever. So I like to go there, and I had a gift card for my birthday in June, and I told my brother, let's go there. It's my treat, you know. So we went there, and I haven't really been inside a place for a while because I just don't fuck with the mask thing, you know. And I don't have one. I'm not gonna wear one, and so it was like just taking a risk, I guess, you know. And walked in. I know the employees saw me without a mask on and everything. My brother had his on, but was standing in line. There was a few people ahead of us and stuff, but we're waiting. Everything's all good. Nobody's saying anything. I'm like, okay, cool. And then right when we get up to the register, the lady behind the plexiglass and everything, she has a mask. There's a plexiglass. She's like, oh, do you have a mask? I was like, no. Oh, can I get you one? No, we're taking this to go. I have health issues, so no. And then I just started ordering because it's like, what, you're gonna stop me from ordering? Like, that would be ridiculous. So I just continued ordering. My brother ordered his food, and then went about my business. And we just stepped outside after we ordered and everything, you know. But yeah, that's kind of what happened. It's like I just had to stick up for myself and be like, no, I don't wear a mask. I'm not wearing one, and yeah, that's what it is. So that it was just frustrating because it's like you saw me walk in. Like I know you saw me walk in, and plus there was people in line, so you're gonna risk them, but not yourself, even though you're behind plexiglass and a mask on yourself. It just makes no sense to me, man. The optics are just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But food was good. Food was good. Took it back home and just kind of hung out there with my brother for a little bit. Got into some conversations, a little bit of debating here and there, and about some music, about the politics stuff, and all of that. And just how it goes when me and him are together. But it didn't really get too heated, I don't think. And then we were texting a little bit yesterday too, so I feel like it kind of worked out fine. It's a good thing in my opinion. At least, you know, days didn't go by before one of us reached out again or whatever, you know. But that was basically Saturday. Oh, until the UFC came on, and I didn't get to watch all of it because my brother was here and he doesn't really like watching it. So I kind of threw it on pretty late, probably only watched basically the co-main and the main. And man, that Brian Ortega and Korean Zombie, man, Brian Ortega looked really good, man. He looked really good. Let's get into a little bit of that. So let's just read. Yes, this is what I wanted. Just kind of the highlight of the Brian Ortega. Because he looked good, man. He shaved his head. I think he's donating it to a charity for kids with cancer and things like that. So shout out to him for that. Definitely looks completely different. Not only in physical appearance with no hair, but also he looked just amazing as a mixed martial artist, man. He looked like he improved a ton in kind of all facets, and it really paid off for him. So let's read this. This is from bloodyelbow.com, and this is just kind of highlighting Brian Ortega. So let's read this real quick. It says, the fight was a revelation for Brian Ortega. The guy who could barely win a round without tapping someone out in the same round suddenly looks like a distant memory. The Korean Zombie, Chang Song-yong, has always had his defensive gaps, his willingness to get wild on offense, his inconsistencies of decision-making, but he's also clearly crafted himself into a continuously dangerous high-level striking threat in the cage. And Ortega patiently and calmly played out the matador for 5 rounds while hardly missing a beat. He's turned his unflappable confidence into a remarkable consistency of form and delivery. In MMA, that kind of skill and composure makes him an incredibly dangerous talent. It also makes his planned upcoming bout with Alexander Volkanovski fascinating. The great Alexander Volkanovski has rarely fought without at least offering the takedown as a significant threat to his opponent. Oh, no. Yeah. Yes, this is okay. I thought they were talking about Brian Ortega for a second, but then no, it's talking about Alexander Volkanovski. He shot 13 times on Max Holloway between their 2 bouts. Can he face Ortega down without that same dynamic in play? Does he want to test his luck with Ortega on the ground? And for Ortega, he's hit some serious high output striking numbers in his past 2 bouts. But can he keep that tempo against someone so willing to match it the way Volkanovski is sure to be? Someone who has also built his style around neutralizing range tools and has been doing it a bit more consistently to previously better results. It's a fantastic title fight, and I can't be happier that UFC doesn't appear to want to screw around with making something else. Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega is the perfect next fight for the featherweight gold. And yeah, like I was kind of saying, Brian Ortega looked really good. He took it, went the full distance. But he ended up winning 50-45 unanimously. And this was his first fight in just about 2 years. I think it said 22 months ago was his last fight. So he looked very good. He looked like he improved on a handful of things. And yeah, that should be a great next fight. Brian Ortega versus Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight title. Hopefully they make it pretty soon. I don't think Ortega took too much damage or anything, so it should be, you know, not a super quick turnaround, but I would expect maybe in the next 4 months, maybe I would kind of assume that I would think that'd be a good turnaround. Like take a month off and then get back to it. I don't know. I don't know how much time you'd want to pass if you're Brian Ortega, because he looks so good, and we'll see what happens, but that should be the next fight in play. And it was a good one. It was a good one for Brian Ortega on Saturday. What else did we have going on? So yeah, that was basically it for Saturday for me. Not too much else happened the rest of the evening, but that leads us to Sunday. Sunday was interesting. Had a friend come over. We went to Plant Power. That was the first time I've been to Plant Power in months, because I have not been happy with how they've been handling the whole pandemic and all of that. They've been definitely pushing the left-wing agenda, I would say. You know, they went cashless. They make you wear a mask even in the damn drive-thru. So this is what really pisses me off. So it's like, I had been pretty early on into the pandemic, and they had a thing saying on their drive-thru, oh, you must wear a mask in the drive-thru or no service or whatever. I didn't wear it. It was still fine. Nobody questioned me or anything when I went, but this was like months ago. And we get there, we order, we're in line, we get up to the window, and they shut the window on my friend because she didn't have a mask on. And it was like, what? What the fuck? And then she immediately put her mask on, and then that really pissed me off, because it's like, oh my god. Whatever, we got our food, but I was pissed, man. Like, I was like really angry. I was like, we're in a fucking car. They have a mask on. What is the issue? Like, come on, just stop. Plus, you're then gonna touch the card anyway. Like, oh my god, it made no sense to me. It was just ridiculous. And then I just got mad at my friend too, because she was like, she immediately complied and put it on. I was like, say you have a health issue or something. Like, stop prolonging this bullshit, because it's like, it's not okay that they're allowed to do that. It's really not. And what are they gonna do? They already made the food. They're just gonna toss all of it, like get rid of all the food, like because we're not wearing a mask? Like, that would be very irresponsible of them. Just makes no sense, man. It makes no sense, and it really makes me angry. Shout out to Black Rifle Coffee Company right here. This is the Murdered Out coffee. It is really good. It's really good. But yeah, back to that. It's just it really makes me mad. So that was kind of the nail in the coffin. I'm not going to Plant Power again. They have to make some real changes for me to want to go, which is such a bummer, because they are a good spot. Like, I love their food. It's like straight up fast food, vegan style, you know? Like, I got the Big Zac, which is basically like a Big Mac, you know what I mean? And fries and a Coke, but natural cola, you know? And then, like, my friend got, like, the animal style fries with the sauce and onions and all that stuff. So it's like, it's a good spot. They have, like, chicken burgers. They got chicken tenders, like, all this stuff. All vegan, though. Milkshakes and everything, you know? And I loved it. I love going there all the time. But as soon as the pandemic hit, man, they just completely, like, conform to that liberal agenda, and I ain't having it. I am not having it at all. It just pisses me off, man. Just makes me so angry. And just the fact that like they shut the door on my friend, like the drive-through window, because she wasn't wearing a mask. It's like, that's so ridiculous to me. So ridiculous. And then I just got, like I said, I got mad at her because she immediately complied and just went along with it instead of sticking up for herself or whatever. But it's whatever, you know. It's just frustrating. So yeah, I'm not gonna be supporting them anymore, at least for a while. And I know they don't really care. They're gonna still get business regardless. But it's more for me personally. Like, I can't support that. Plus, I heard that the owner has some like sexual assault allegations, or something like that, misconduct or something like that. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just some stuff that I've heard a handful of times now. And you know, some months ago they put out this like really weird cryptic statement on Instagram saying, "Oh, we hear you. We know there's some problems. If you have anything you need to address, please email us, let us know," or whatever. And then come to find out that that is kind of what it had to do with, is some in-house allegations dealing with the owner. So again, that plus their liberal agenda going on, it's like, I gotta step away, which is a bummer because, you know, their food is good. But there's been some, Mendocino Farms, like I said, has some vegan options. I love their food, but again, I don't really like supporting someone that's not all vegan, but at least they have the options. So, and it's good. And then that goes along with the Gianni's Pizza and like Oceanside. They created like a vegan menu, a handful of vegan pizzas, calzones, sandwiches, all that stuff. You know, they have a good vegan menu, and but they're like a regular pizza joint as well, you know? But it's good. Their vegan stuff is fire. They, like, everything I've had is really good from them. So shout out to them. But again, it's supporting somewhere that's also supporting animal products as well. So, you know, it is what it is. You got to just deal with it, I guess. But then we have Veggie Grill. But they're just expensive. They are just expensive. But they're good too. So there are options. There are other options for me to have, or I can just make my own stuff, you know what I mean? But every once in a while I like, you know, a pizza or a BLT sandwich, or, you know, at Mendocino Farms, they have this Reuben sandwich. I know some vegans don't fuck with the Impossible Burger, but it's like, you know, at least it's an option. So that's what it is. That's what's going on. But I can't mess with Plant Power anymore. It's a bummer, because their food was good, but damn, like, both me and my friend, after eating, we just got so tired, man, and just like ready to just pass out. It was crazy, because like we both kind of had the same meal, and I was already kind of tired from my run, like about an hour prior. My legs had just been exhausted, and it was hot. It's probably like noon or something when I went on my run. Like always, I always do that. I can't force myself to do it in the morning, and then by the time I get myself mentally prepared, it's like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So it's like, right when the sun's out and beaming down, but it's all good. I worked through it. But yeah, we were just exhausted after eating, man. It was crazy. But came back home, ate the food, and threw on Return to Twin Peaks, and I'm almost done with that series. It's like I was watching it a while ago, got through a good portion of it, but it was kind of hard to follow. So I had to keep going back an episode or two, and then it's like I just kind of steered away from it. Found the path, got really heavy into that, stopped watching that for a little bit, and then started getting back into the path, which is I have one episode left of each now, of the path and Return to Twin Peaks. I'm on to the final episodes of each, and after that I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really don't know what I'm gonna do about shows because I was trying to just hold off as long as possible for some of these, like maybe watch one episode here, 2 episodes a night this night, skip a day, back to one episode. So I was trying to prolong it because I knew it was coming to an end and I don't know what I'm gonna watch after. It sucks, man, because these shows are good. But Return to Twin Peaks, man, that's that show is a trip. Shout out to David Lynch, man. That guy's mind is something else. Twin Peaks is awesome. Definitely like one of my favorite shows for sure. And now this Return, it is a trip. And the last episode I watched, which is the second to last episode, oh my gosh, it's all kind of coming together. And yeah, it's crazy. I love it. I love the like just how outlandish it is, just like how out there it is, but also could be somewhat reality, you know? It's a trip. It really is. And then it's just funny because David Lynch does like these weather reports for LA like every morning. And he's been doing that since the pandemic from my understanding. And then like I remember checking up on that like a handful of times early on when I first heard about it. And that's all it was, just a weather report. And then I kind of forgot about it for a while. And then I went back to his YouTube page. And now he's adding this number of the day thing where he gets this big old like mason jar thing. Numbers 10 ping pong balls 1 through 10. And just randomly picks one. And today's number is, and then holds up the number and then says the number. And that's it. That's the whole video. So is it leading to something else? Is the weather reports leading to something else? Is it just some experiment that he's doing? Who knows, man? It's a trip. It's a trip. He's an interesting guy though, for sure. Really interesting. What else is going on here? So let's get into that. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Rays. Shout out to the Tampa Bay Rays and not a shout out to the Dodgers. I'm so bummed on that. So bummed on the Dodgers going to the World Series. Let's get into some of this. MLB playoffs 2020, Dodgers and Rays World Series matches up baseball's best. After going through an extra round of playoffs in the expanded postseason and being pushed to the limit in the league championship series, the top seed in each league has advanced to the 2020 World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who had the best record in baseball this year and haven't won it all since 1988, face the Tampa Bay Rays, who were the best team in the American League and have never won the Fall Classic, in the World Series, which begins Tuesday night in Arlington, Texas. Here's what makes this a series to watch, plus the odds, keys to victory, and more. The Dodgers have a 69.8 chance of winning the series. Projections from ESPN's Bradford Doolittle. How they got here, the Rays. Rays powered by a dominant pitching staff that features 3 potential aces in Blake Snell, Charlie Morton, and Tyler Glasnow. Tampa Bay ran away with the AL East race and edged out the Oakland Athletics for the league's best mark. Brandon Lowe was the only true offensive standout in the lineup that finished 12th in the majors with 289 runs scored and produced a team OPS of 753. Wildcard Series defeated Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. AL Series defeated New York Yankees 3-2. ALCS defeated Houston Astros 4-3. And now on to the Dodgers. Once LA acquired Mookie Betts from the Boston Red Sox in February, the Dodgers became the odds-on World Series favorite. They did not disappoint, racing to a 43-17 record and posting a plus 136 run differential, both by far the best in baseball. Wildcard Series defeated Milwaukee Brewers 2-0. The National League Division Series defeated the Padres 3-0, and the National League Championship Series defeated Atlanta Braves 4-3. Here's the series schedule. Game 1, Tuesday, 8:09, Wednesday, 8:08, Friday. Ooh, they actually do get a day off. 8:08, Saturday, 8:08, and Sunday, if necessary, 8:08, Saturday, or the 27th, I don't know, would be 8:08, and then, if necessary, Game 7 would be 8:09 p.m. Why the additional minute later? That makes no sense. Weird. 3 reasons why the Rays will win the series. Their pitching staff is more rested. To state the obvious, winning Game 7 against the Astros was a priority for the Rays. If that had failed, these words would not be necessary, and if Kevin Cash had to use every Rays pitcher from Nick Anderson to Dennis Quaid, he would have done it, but Cash didn't have to empty his pitching tank. With Charlie Morton, Anderson, and Peter Fairbanks combining to shut down Houston on just 114 pitches, the Rays will begin the World Series after 2 days off with the rejuvenated pitching staff. The Dodgers, of course, not only had to play on Sunday to finally overcome the Braves, but their top 2 starters, Walker Buehler, Blisters, and Clayton Kershaw, back, both have physical clouds circling above. There's no reason to think that will definitively factor into the World Series, but both are the kind of maladies that can resurface in inopportune times. Let's hope so. Let's hope that these pitchers cannot get it done, and at least the Rays can have a good 2 games where they can get ahead and win, and then fight it out for the other 2. And we just cannot have the Dodgers winning, man. Cannot. Rotation setup. Even more important than the rest factor, I just like how the Rays' probable progression of starters sets up better than the Dodgers. Cash might have ideas of his own, but if rotation usage during the postseason is any guideline, then Tyler Glasnow should start Game 1 on 5 days rest. His career ERA on 4 or fewer days rest is 5.21. On 5 days or more, it's 3.57. So it'd be 5.21 on 4 or fewer and 3.57 on 5 days or more. Game 2 should belong to Blake Snell on a normal rest. His career ERA on normal rest is 3.27. Game 3, after an off day, goes to Morton on 5 days rest, and his career ERA with more than normal rest is 3.63. Also, because of the calendar in place for the World Series, Morton not only is lined up for Game 3, but could come back and start a potential Game 7 on normal rest. Morton is the all-time leader in Game 7 wins. Game 4 goes to Ryan Yarbrough. Most likely, by then, Yarbrough would have not pitched since October 13. However, the long down period combined with sudden influx of off days during the matchup means Cash can use Yarbrough in relief early in the series, and he might want to. The Dodgers team OPS against soft pitches thrown by lefties this season is just .659, ranking 17th in the majors. The average pitch thrown by the southpaw Yarbrough this season has been just 81.4 miles per hour. That's pretty crazy. Then it resets. Glasnow could go on normal rest in Game 5. Snell with 5 days rest in Game 6. And as mentioned, Morton if it comes down to a winner-take-all contest. Yes, when you get to the playoffs, the best laid pitching plans usually go awry, but the off days built into the schedule also benefit Cash's deep bullpen. He should have little reason to deploy one of his biggest 3 stars in anything but a traditional role during the Fall Classic. Bullpens. There's a lot of intrigue about the Andrew Friedman built Dodgers coming up against his original team and the Rays, built by an iteration of the front office for which he helped set the template. In some ways, that justifies the heavy favorite status Los Angeles is likely to enjoy. After all, You take everything the Rays do to get an edge, transplant it to LA, and combine it with the massive resources of the Dodgers. Just one example from back when the teams got to have fans in attendance. You can take any 3 recent Rays seasons attendance totals, add them together, and it's less than the typical one season attendance count at Dodger Stadium. That is crazy. Yeah, let's just move on. This is just too much. I don't really care too much about it anyways. I just want the Rays to win. I just can't stand the Dodgers. And it'd be awful for Manny Machado because he made that little bet with the Dodgers fan. He's like, "Oh, I bet my contract we win a ring before you." And he's like, "I know the Dodgers have been in the World Series the last 3 out of 4 seasons, but they can blow it, which would be amazing to see again. And it'd be awesome for the Rays to kind of win their first ring. But more importantly, just not the Dodgers, you know? Just not the Dodgers. It would have been awesome if it was the Braves who got it done. But I guess they always kind of have trouble in the postseason as well. So that's a bummer. That is definitely a bummer. But, you know, what can you do? So, I believe like almost all of San Diego is rooting for the Rays now. So let's go Tampa Bay. Let's get it done. And, yeah, let's beat those Dodgers. Get rid of those Dodgers, man. Can't do it. Cannot do it. So that was Sunday as well. Also Sunday going on. I decided to kind of look up some art supplies. Need to do something, man. I got to figure out something. Got to make some money somehow. And, yeah, I was, I'm kind of interested in like painting and stuff. I'm not really artistic in that way, but it's something to learn and do, and and then that kind of led me to maybe candle making, which looked pretty cool. So I don't know, could have some options coming up here soon. I don't really know exactly what direction I'm gonna go in, but yeah, thinking about doing some art stuff as well, because I need to figure something out, man. Some way to kind of make some sort of income. And yeah, I was getting excited about the art stuff, so we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what develops from it, but that is something to maybe be on the lookout for. I mean, even if I don't get into the candle making, like, for selling all the time or whatever, at least it'd be a cool gift for the holidays coming up, and plus a little painting or something like that. I don't know, it's a thought, I'm thinking about it for sure. What else is going on? So the big story that the media is kind of shutting out is this whole Joe Biden, Hunter Biden story, which is interesting. I believe it came from like the New York Post. Come on, phone. There we go. All right, let's get into this. Media avoiding the post Hunter Biden stories as much as Joe. For 3 days, Joe Biden refused to say a word about the Post's exclusive stories last week, linking him to his son Hunter's business deals in Ukraine and China. It wasn't until 7:45 p.m. Friday at the Detroit airport that the former vice president briefly stopped for questions, and CBS reporter Bo Erickson asked about the damning emails found on Hunter's laptop, which was abandoned last April at a Mac repair shop. Quote, "I have no response," snapped Joe. "Another smear campaign, right up your alley." A video of Joe's remarks on Erickson's Twitter account has been viewed 6 million times, but for some in the media, Erickson was at fault for asking the question. What? "Bo, this is your news director," replies Steve Holzer, a UCLA journalism director and news director journalism instructor and news director who has worked at CBS in the past but not currently, according to his LinkedIn profile. Quote, the right question is, what do you think of the report that Rudy Giuliani used Russian disinformation to try and smear your family 19 days before the election? What? Russian disinformation? I think it's all coming out to be true. Like, what the? Oh my gosh. That tweet tells you everything about the dishonest response to our story from the much of the establishment media. Yeah, exactly. Russian disinformation. This is how the New York Times and Washington Post, CNN, etc. run protection for the Biden campaign. They have ignored or maligned our stories and claimed the emails were hacked. We published an email showing Hunter arranged a meeting in 2015 between his VP dad and one of his senior colleagues at corrupt energy company Burisma, which was paying him up to $83,000 a month. Neither Joe nor Hunter Biden has disputed that the laptop belongs to Hunter or that the material we have published from the laptop is genuine. Joe's campaign admitted to Politico that an informal meeting with Burisma may have occurred. This new evidence that Joe participated in his family's cash for influence scheme with shady foreign companies. Yet the rest of the media is helping the Bidens discredit our reporting using the usual suspects like James Clapper, who told CNN it was textbook Soviet Russian tradecraft. Soviet Russian. Okay, the Soviet doesn't exist anymore, but okay, keep pushing that shit. They harassed a computer repair guy in Delaware who turned over Hunter's abandoned laptop and hard drive to the FBI, and they scoffed when he said he feared for his life. They ran stories smearing Trump ally Rudy Giuliani as a Russian agent because he told the Post about the laptop and identified incriminating documents on its hard drive. They claim the chain of custody of the laptop is suspect, so let's lay it out. On April 12, 2019, a man who calls himself Hunter Biden enters a Wilmington, Delaware Mac repair shop with 3 liquid damaged computers just before closing time. The owner says one computer is beyond repair, another has a fried keyboard, so the owner gives Hunter a spare keyboard. The third laptop, a MacBook, is salvageable. Hunter signs a work order to confirm he wants him to fix it and provides contact details. The owner, whom the Post promised an anonymity, even though he has since been named by others, recovers the contents of the laptop and transfers to his server. He calls Hunter and asks him to bring in an external hard drive onto which he can transfer the content. Hunter arrives at closing time with the external hard drive. He never sets foot inside the store again. The owner makes frequent attempts to contact Hunter Biden to pick up his laptop, pay the $85 bill, and return the keyboard and cord. No reply. After 90 days, as per work order signed by Hunter, the laptop becomes the store's legal property. In August, the computer repairman hears news reports about the leaked phone call in which President Trump raises Hunter and Joe Biden's Burisma activity with Ukraine's president, the call which sparked his impeachment. The repairman does a word search for Burisma on Hunter's laptop. Bingo. 4 months later, the impeachment is big news, so he decides to contact the FBI via a friend in case the material on the laptop is useful. On December 9, 2 FBI agents take away the laptop and hard drive. In August this year, the repairman sees Giuliani on TV talking about Hunter and Burisma and decides to contact him via an email address he finds online. This is how the repairman explained his actions in an email to Giuliani on August 27, 2020. Quote, as I read deeper into the drive, I started to realize what I was sitting on and who was involved and at what level. I figured the safest thing to do was to reach out to the FBI and have them collect the drive and the Mac so I could wash my hands of it, and they might be able to offer me some level of protection so should someone come looking for it and come after me because I knew what was on it. The FBI did show up. Over the next few days, they contacted me for access to the drive because their tech guys didn't know Macs. that kind of threw up a red flag. They also said nothing ever happens to people who don't talk about this stuff, so that got me a little concerned. There are some very incriminating videos on the hard drive. I live and work in the Biden's hometown, Wilmington, Delaware, and my life here as well as a businessman would be destroyed if people found out what I was involved in. I've been trying to keep things quiet, but I feel the time has been running out. And that was it. The email was compelling. Within 2 days, a copy of the hard drive was FedExed to a Long Island address where Giuliani and his lawyer examined it and verified the material was genuine. Bannon, a former Trump advisor, was only peripherally involved. He was brought in by Giuliani in late September to help decipher the China material. Shortly thereafter, Bannon alerted the Post to the existence of the material, although he did not have a copy. On Sunday, a week ago, Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of the hard drive. It is not hard to believe that Hunter would be as reckless as to abandon a laptop at a repair shop. In October 2016, he left a crack pipe in a Hertz rental car in Arizona, along with a white powdery substance, credit cards, and his driver's license, as widely reported. The Post has been transparent about the provenance of the material, and we have published. We stand by our reporting and the authenticity of the material. It's hard to believe the rest of America's media does not want to know the full story about a man running for president. And that is the story. So it's very interesting of what's going on right now. And just the fact that the media is just silent about it and kind of trying to discredit it is really interesting, man. They call it a smear campaign and Soviet Russian tactics and anything to kind of get Biden out of the hot water, but this is not looking good. It's like everything that the left and the Democrats have said that Trump was doing is what they were doing. It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty crazy to me how they can just kind of do that. Like I've been saying for a while now, like I don't understand how these people can just lie, especially in court. You know, like when I was watching the Amy Coney Barrett stuff, it's like Senator Booker, Cory Booker, straight up said Donald Trump has not yet once denounced white supremacy. And it's like, there's been tons of video of him denouncing white supremacy. Oh, like how can they get away with that in court? Just lying. Shouldn't they be held accountable? Doesn't make any sense to me, man. It just pisses me off. Like that's what makes me really frustrated with the entire system. It's like, and then nobody sticks up when he says that. He's like, actually he has since 2015 at least on video since he declared he was going to be running. Like there's been like 20 plus times that he's denounced white supremacy, but they're going to still continue and say he has not once done it in court, and then nobody like says actually he has. Like that makes me feel like something's fishy and going on. Like nobody really cares about the truth, and that's just pretty frustrating. All of it is, but it's just politics, I guess. It's just what you want to call it. And that's why it's like I can't support any of these people, man. I really can't. I can't support the left or the right. So it's like, gotta go Joe Jorgensen. I gotta do some reading here on my ballots. My ballot that I have. Not my ballots. I only have one. I'm only gonna be voting once. Don't get it twisted. But I gotta read the the propositions and all that, and kind of really figure out what I'm gonna be voting for and all of that. But I know I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen, that's for sure, for president. But as far as the other stuff on the ballot, I gotta read into and kind of figure out. But those are, that's what's going on. Those are the things that I'm gonna be dealing with, and it's just frustrating, man. Just how there's this evidence out there that this is going on with Joe Biden and his son, and people are just discrediting it. And I mean, I guess we'll see what comes of it, like what is actual true and maybe what's not true, but it looks like this is a true thing, and the mainstream media is just kind of shutting it out, which is not good. Not a good look. But yeah, that's kind of all that I really had to talk about today as far as like news stuff and things I had to go over. I will say, I think on Friday evening, my dad threw on Hocus Pocus. We threw that on on Disney Plus or whatever. It's been a long time since I watched that movie. Probably like 10, 15 years or something since I've seen that. But it was just really interesting because in the first 10 minutes, there's a scene where the three witches, the Sanderson sisters or whatever, like get this little girl, tie her up, and they're like harvesting her. And they're all old looking. The Sanderson sisters are old looking and stuff. And they basically eat the essence of the little girl and they become younger. I was like, holy shit, this is adrenochrome, man. This whole movie's about adrenochrome. Like, they're trying to harvest young children to look younger. Not be younger, but to look younger. I was like, dude, this is insane. It made me watch the movie in a whole different way. Plus, the spell book has an all-seeing eye on it. And I was like, this is nuts, dude. It's like just typical Disney stuff, man. Like, they just, you think it's all this fun, like, lighthearted kid stuff, witches, Halloween, and all that kind of stuff. But when you get down to it, when you're older and watching it, and especially when you're into the truth stuff, like, I'm into, it's like, you watch it from a different perspective, and, like, just the evil stuff that they're putting into it. It's like, I couldn't believe it, man. In the first handful of scenes, like the first opening act was that, and I was like, no way. And then you hear all the time, like, The Rock eats children, like, he straight up says it. And there's been other celebrities that say the same thing, man, like, oh yeah, I eat little children or whatever. It's like, it's weird, man. Like, why would they even say those types of things? It just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Kind of a trip, man. I don't like it. But yeah, that was an interesting thing that I kind of stumbled upon, and I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. Like, I tried looking it up on Google and stuff if anybody else had a similar thing, like, outlook on it, but I didn't see it. So I doubt I'm the first one to kind of like talk about it, but maybe. I just thought it was just like, what the fuck, man? So it makes you want to go look at like all those like old Disney movies and stuff. It's like, what else were they putting in there? Like, as far as like truth stuff, occult stuff, who knows? It's weird though, man. And then like, just kids watch it and just are into it and all that stuff. It's really interesting. But that is kind of all I really had today. Got the cabinet guys coming here probably pretty soon, so I gotta go back inside and let them in. So that's what is going on. I'm not sure if we're gonna be doing the No World Order podcast tomorrow or if we're gonna get it Thursday. I'm not really sure. I know Zach has been pretty busy. He has like a busy week coming up, I'm assuming, just with everything going on in his personal life. So I'm not sure. I know we kind of wanted to get into more of these creatures of the mind and get into that, which should be interesting stuff. But I'm not sure if we're gonna do it tomorrow, Thursday, or what. But we should be getting an episode in, hopefully. We'll see. And then I will be back on Friday for the Real Word podcast. That's what I'm going to be doing, just Monday, Friday from here on out. And then maybe focus more on the gaming. I gotta get the Tony Hawk game, maybe the UFC game, and still play Warzone. But I get, there's only so much Warzone I can take. About an hour and a half, and I'm good. But I feel like I could play Tony Hawk like all day. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. See what happens with the art supplies. What I end up deciding to do with that. Be on the lookout for that. And that should be it. Go Tampa Bay Rays. Beat the Dodgers, please. Yeah, don't really care about too much football right now. Not at all. Yeah, so that is it. And until next time, I'll see you on Friday for another episode of the Real Word Podcast. Till then, peace.